More than 1,300 employees with the Education Department are losing their jobs, and that's nearly half the department. Officials made the announcement yesterday as a prelude to President Trump's stated goal to dismantle the agency. Still, officials say it will continue to deliver on its key functions. Though there was already concern the agency is ignoring some of its most fundamental work, like enforcing civil rights for students with disabilities. Our Kara St. Cyr introduces us to a concerned parent who worries the cuts could impact her child's learning.
Myrna Little's daughter has a rare genetic disorder that causes cerebral palsy.
She has a mutation of a gene called AMP1, which affects the white matter of your brain.
Her 10-year-old, who she's asked us not to identify, relies on federally funded school programs to teach her writing and communication. But now those programs are threatened.
The Department of Education's, maybe more so than any other place, has a lot of people that can be cut.
The Department of Education is cutting 1,300 workers and closing out leases on federal buildings in several cities, including San Francisco. Employees in the local office were told to stay home Wednesday. Meanwhile, the department's civil rights branch near the Civic Center that handles discrimination complaints from families is shuttered.
And you know what the dream is? We're going to move the Department of Education. We're going to move education into the states.
The Department of Education provides federal funding for lower-income students and those with disabilities, like Little's daughter. Her child uses 5 school programs that frame their curriculum to her needs. Little worries the layoffs are just the precursor to program cuts.
And if those are cut or reduced, where else can I get these services? There are not many. There's not a lot of options of places where I could get these services for her.
Wendy Niekirk Rhodes, the executive director of Support for Families of Children with Disabilities, says California received a little over $1 billion for special education for 2024 and 2025.
The Federal Department of Education helps to ensure that there's a baseline level of services and supports for kids with disabilities across all 50 states. Any cuts will have an impact on every state.
Niekirk Rhodes says there are state protections in place to ensure children with disabilities have access to programs, but the uncertainty is what's the most frightening.
We hear from families every day who are concerned about what will happen if these services aren't there for my child. Will they be able to go to school? Will they be safe at school? Will they be able to learn at school? Those are all things that special education helps to make sure can happen.
Meantime, a San Francisco judge has ordered the head of the Office of Personnel Management to appear in federal court here tomorrow to address hundreds of thousands of federal job cuts. Various unions have sued the Trump administration, arguing the firings are illegal. But the White House says that the official in question, Charles Ezell, will not show up tomorrow to testify.